Alrighty, g'day everybody, it's the Doga! It's time for another AC/DC album showcase video. As you may have seen on the channel, we've already done the Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap album last year in time for the album's 45th anniversary, so now we move on to the band's 4th studio album from 1977, Let There Be Rock. Yes, I am aware that I've actually missed the actual 45th anniversary of the album's Australian release, which was back in March. But either way, here are all the copies of the album that I own. Let's start with this one here from 1977. This is indeed the original gatefold pressing. And inside the gatefold itself, some pretty interesting black and white pictures of the band performing live from the latter half of 1976. And now we pull out the LP itself. This was one of the last of the Kangaroo Blue labels from this era, as shown here. As you can see, a different design for the Kangaroo was used, starting with this album. I'm aware that only other album that I think used this particular Kangaroo design was the debut album by the Australian legend band, or the legendary Australian rock band, The Angels, who used it for their self-titled debut album that came out later in the year, before it was eventually dropped. So, now we move on to the next one. I can just pull it out from here. This one's from probably the following year, 1978-ish. The label is identical, but is got no kangaroo on it, or has no kangaroo on it, but is otherwise the same label pretty much. And the next one is I believe this is a reissue from 1980. Once again, we're on the black label with the yellow border from this period. So it does look identical to the other two, still with the old Albert Productions logo and the yellow border surrounding the label. I think the majority of these pressings all use the same matrix from that era as well. I don't think there was any recuts until around 1988 or so. Okay, this next one, I believe, is dated online to 1982. This is black label again, but no yellow border and the updated Albert Productions logo. Okay, that's that version. Now, it jumped forward a couple of years to 1987, I believe. This particular version is one that I've probably not shown off. I think I have shown this off previously, actually. It's pretty much the same again, just the red label, which is from the Volume 1 box set. This one's about 10 years younger than the original, and still carries the original mother plate information, or not mother plate, but matrix, I should say. And the other copy I have on vinyl is from 1989. This is the CBS version. Different LP label, still red, but different info. This one, different album code as well. And side 2 here. Excellent. Right, now onto the cassettes. I have at least 5 here. Don't have very many copies at all, but otherwise there's mainly 5 copies. I have here the original 1977 cassette, with a period-appropriate red cassette shell that was used occasionally by EMI Australia during that time. Let's take a look at the J card, being one of the last to feature the kangaroo on it. Of course, it doesn't want to stay flat. And of course, the paper labels on the cassette itself. Did give this a play earlier this year and sounds fantastic, surprisingly. No differences at all between it and the LP. Okay, now we move on to a couple of the mid-1980s reissues. Again, you may have seen the majority of these before if you're a regular viewer to the channel. This one got darker text blue. Darker blue text and got clear coloured tape leader. Okay, another copy. This one's sort of a lighter blue and essentially the same period. And this one's got a blue tape leader, as you can see here. Okay, on to the next one. I believe this one was the one that belonged to my mother for a while. Unfortunately, it's in very poor condition. Side 1 information is just completely rubbed off almost entirely. And the side 2 is barely there at all either. Unfortunately, this is one of several that got badly damaged many years ago. And we also have the CBS version of the album on cassette as well. J-card information is identical, but with the updated catalogue number. And the cassette itself is here. The side as well. This is going to be a shorter video because I don't have a great deal of copies. In fact, I only have 2 copies of the album on CD. Haven't been able to find the original 1987 CD as of late, or at least not at a price that I can afford it. So, we have the CBS version of the album on CD, which has a simple back cover. Open it out, and we see the disc itself. And inside, you'll find a partial replica of the original gatefold cover. It's pretty much a direct copy of it. I'd like to know why they did that and not for the TNT CD at the time. It's slack if you ask me. Anyway, the last copy of the album is the 1995 Remaster, which is pretty much identical in places. We've got the back cover here. And yes, I am aware of the counterfeits of this getting around, but I can assure you this is no counterfeit. This disc here is indeed the real one, especially because it's got the right font for the title, and the Digital Audio Technologies Australia logo is present there, which is not on the most well-known counterfeit of the CD. And inside the booklet cover is, of course, the lyrics, as well as the pictures that were taken from the gatefold of the original LP. And on the back of the cover is, of course, the black and white version of the international front cover. Looks like they've just blasted over the Let There Be Rock and AC/DC that was present on there. Anyway, it's a much shorter video due to me not having a great deal of copies of the album, but hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and comment down below, and if you're new to the Be a Good Dog YouTube channel, be sure to press that subscribe button. Unless you're unwilling to do so, no pressure. Until next time, this is the Doga saying have a great day everybody, and we shall see you again.